Welcome to another tech video. So today we're going to be talking about what we've got in this white cloth bag. Looks quite interesting. Let's find out more about it. So in the box, great Acer packaging. I have to admit, nice soft cloth protecting the laptop itself. Underneath the right hand side here, we've got our power adapter and our UK cable. So inside the packaging here, this is, let's have a look, see if we can see, 45.1 watts, so 45 watt charger. And then, oh wow, this is very, very impressive. The fact that they give you inside here, we've obviously got an upgrade option that's available to us. So 2.5 inch SATA drive with the connector and ribbon cable. So brilliant news to see that they've actually included that this time in the packaging. And we've always been big fans of the soft protective cloth. I think all the manufacturers should be shipping their laptops with something like that. And over the top here, okay, so we've got a nice sort of bluey grey black finish, but we've got a protective film over the Acer logo just here, which means that it's not going to get scratched. On the whole, laptop itself very, very thin, quite light, which is really good. We've got some little protectors in the corner here. Not sure why we've got those, but we'll open it up. And again, the theme of the soft cloth carries forward with the protection cover for the keyboard itself. And then underneath we've got our trackpad. Looks like we've got a fingerprint reader here, and we've got our Ryzen 5 sticker, our AMD Radeon graphics sticker there. We've got our control functions up at the top here, and this is new to Acer. Not seen this one before. So we've got a Z key. I presume that means you hit that one and it's going to put the device to sleep. So we're going to close that down, and let's have a look underneath at the back. Okay, so crucially, we've got some great air intake flow here. So we've got our copper heat pipes that you can see running round to the fan assembly unit. We've got plenty of grill space here that's going to allow the input of the air to be blown out of the back. It looks like the fan, or the CPU, or the cooling fan, is going to expire the heat. You can just see, if I get that right, along the back here, this is where the exhaust vent is. You can see the exit area for the air that's getting sucked in and blown out to keep that cool. You've also got another vent over on the right hand side here. Let's see if we can see that. Difficult to see down there, but you've also got some additional slots there. And the screen itself folds absolutely flat, so it will open completely with 180 degrees from open to close, which is nice to see as well. Plenty of space underneath here. You can see the huge space on the hinge bar. And then getting into the unit itself is fairly straightforward. So we've got 11 screws that you need to take out, running for 3 at the back here, 4 across the centre and 4 across the front. And we're going to remove the cover and have a look to see what the upgrade options are for you. Okay, so getting into the back of it is fairly straightforward. So we've just taken a prizer tool and run it all the way around the edges to break, not break, but to release the clips, and then the cover will come off fairly straightforwardly making sure that you don't damage anything, of course. There we go. So once you've undone the screws, released it, you can lift the cover off, and then as you can see, we've got the full range of upgrade options available to us. So the first thing we've noticed is obviously our RAM. So this is pre-populated, so you get 4 gig that's part of the main board, and you get an additional 4 gig of a SODIMM chip. Unfortunately, that means that when you change it, it's probably going to always be single channel mode. I may be wrong, but if you add 8 gig in here, then potentially it's not going to be dual channel mode, because it's not the same memory and it's not paired. Additional memory is always good because means that you can open a lot more applications. So let's have a good look around the board itself. So underneath here we've got our CPU on the main board. We've got our copper heat pipes coming into the fan assembly unit, and then over on the right here, this is where you can utilize this upgrade pack. So it means that you can add a 2.5-inch drive into this area here, and you can take the SATA connector and ribbon cable, and let me just see if we can find it on here. Okay, where have they hidden it? We should be seeing a little connector that we can plug straight into. So the drive will go here, which only leaves this area here. However, can't see any connector on that. What's under there? I'm going to remove the Wi-Fi card, although it seems very strange why you would tuck a ribbon cable connector underneath the board, but in actual fact they do. So this is, you'd have to remove the Wi-Fi card to see it, but under here we've got 2 connectors. We've got one connector here and one connector here. So it's underneath the Wi-Fi card, and it's this front connector here that will take the ribbon cable from here. So this will plug in, and then it will do a bit of a shimmy down here to a right angle. So it's got you'll have a couple of turns in it, unless you actually sit the drive in like this. So let's have a look. Okay, that looks like the way it goes in, which it does. Okay, so your drive will sit in this way with your SATA connector coming out. Let's just show you that, because this is important. So you'll take your drive cage, and your drive cage will go in like this, and then you'll take your ribbon cable, and your ribbon cable will plug into the top of the drive here. So you would put, there you go, that actually has a kink in the cable, so that will go in like that. So your connector goes into this slot here, and then your drive will go in here with your SATA adapter at the top there. Just unfortunate. You don't necessarily need to remove the Wi-Fi card, but I would recommend being able to do that, so that if you take it out of the way, you're going to be able to lift this up and slide in your ribbon cable and test to make sure that you've got that seated correctly. So let's pop the Wi-Fi card back in, and I'm really impressed with Acer for to actually put this drive upgrade kit in. It's actually impressive. There's a lot of manufacturers don't bother, so you have to go off and, you know, do your research, find the cage that you need and a suitable ribbon cable. But actually for Acer to include it in the pack here is very impressive. So as you can see, let's move on. This is our NVMe drive. So this one here is a 512 gigabyte option. You can obviously swap that out for more or less if you really want to. So if you wanted to have 256 gig and free that up for something else, pop a 256 gig drive in there add your 2.5-inch drive there and you're good to go. So let's get this back together. So we don't need any of that, so all we need to do at the moment is just pop the lid back on. It just clips in around, and then we're going to add our 11 screws back in to secure that. So let's talk about the specification of the machine. So this is an AMD Ryzen 5 5500U processor, which is a hexa-core, so it runs at 2.1 gigahertz, boosting up to 4 gigahertz. It comes with 8 gig of RAM and a 512 gigabyte M.2 SSD drive. So let's lay the laptop down so we can actually see it a little bit. So around the outside, so the edges, nice slim bezel. Across the top here we've got our full HD 720p webcam with our dual microphones on either side. The screen itself is full HD. It's an IPS LCD with LED backlighting, and it incorporates the Acer ComfyView technology. Not entirely sure what that is. In terms of Wi-Fi, so this comes with Wi-Fi 6, and there is a RJ45 port on the side of the device, which is fantastic. But Wi-Fi 6 is very good in terms of speed and throughput. And then Bluetooth, it comes with Bluetooth, and it comes with Bluetooth 5.1. So let's have a look at the device and have a look around it. So as you can see, what we've got here is our power adapter. Then we've got our RJ45 connector. Then we've got our HDMI port. Now this is HDMI 2.0. And we've got, next to that, we've got two USB 3.1 ports. And we've got a USB Type-C port on the side. Now on the other side, we've got our USB 2 port. And we've got a Kensington lock, a battery indicator and a hard disk indicator as well. And then we've got a combined headphone jack here. So combined headphone jack, USB 2 port, Type A port, activity light and power light. And then running through again on this side is USB Type-C, two USB Type 3.1 ports, Type A ports, HDMI 2.0, RJ45 gigabit throughput, 10100 gigabit. So yes, it's a gigabit port, which is good. And then our power. We've been through the rest of the specifications on the device. In terms of weight, fairly light. I believe this is 1.7 kilos. And the sizing is obviously, I'm not going to talk about the sizing, it's a 15.6 inch screen, and you can see the sizing here. We've got our numpad compressed in, we've got some good spacing between the keys there, and purported battery life is 13.5 hours. So yeah, a fairly impressive Acer 5 machine that we've got here. So let's talk about the price, shall we? So this was £499 from Curry's PC World. It's in stock. There is a bit of a discount going on it. I think it's £549 with a saving of £50. So grab yourself a bargain. This is a great machine. The things that sets it apart from the other Acers are the quality of the HD webcam in this one, and also the double the amount of storage, so 512 of storage in an NVMe drive. So if you found that video useful, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Just want to say thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.